Alright, so I've made this video tutorial probably about 6 times, and I have found a spot where I have messed up on what I've been trying to say every time. So I'm just going to fly through this, and hopefully it gets out right. If not, then excuse the mess. Before I start, I would like to say, please excuse my laptop lagging a lot because I went to boot it up the other day, and the motherboard got too hot, and one of the RAM chips now won't work, so I'm back from 4 gigs to 2 gigs of RAM. So everything is just lagging and hanging. Um, Now, as far as the program goes, the same requirements as last time. You need to have a Windows PC with Windows XP or higher and the .NET Framework 4 installed. Linux and Mac users, your version is coming soon. I want to make sure that I have everything 100% ready for the Windows version before I start making it for other operating systems. That way I know I have everything set. I'm going to start out with the installer again because that's changed a lot. The splash screen from the last version has changed as well. Um, the installer needs admin access to install to the program files directory. Um, Once the program freezes, it's copying the last file and creating the shortcut on the desktop. Once it does that, the installer will send you a message saying it's complete, like that, and then it will close. Now, this icon right here says TubeRip, just double click it. It does require admin access because of the plugin system I added. It needs admin access to read the plugins folder. Once this loads, the very first thing you're going to see is a window that says YouTube on it. That's the same form that was loading in the last video I made, except it's put into an MDI parent rather than being the main form itself. That was put that way so it would work with the plugin system I created. It's still got the same forms, everything. You got your video preview, you can search with a keyword. If you type in your video ID, it'll load the video and a description. If you click download as audio, it'll download the video, convert it to audio using FFmpeg, and that audio file will be placed in your My Music folder. If you download as video, the video will be downloaded in MP4 format directly to your My Videos folder. You can change this by going Options, Preferences, and Default Save Options right here. Just change these two options and then click Save. Also, the same settings as before. You have the MP3 conversion quality is still the same, 128 through 320 kbps. The video quality you can have from 240 to 1080 as default. If the system can't find the resolution you're looking for, it'll automatically default to 360p. I'm going to work on a function that if it can't find the quality you're looking for, it finds the next highest. That'll be out in the next release. A few new things in here. The user settings, save download history, that is still a work in progress. I have everything set so it can save the history, but I want to encrypt it so that things can't be traced by people other than yourself. And it will require a password to read it. It will be your login password for the program itself. Also, we have over here background settings. This you do not need to click the save button for, but before you click the change background image, you want to choose tile, stretch, or center. Basically, if you tile it, it'll keep repeating all over the form. Stretch it will fit it to the entire form, and center will put it in the dead center. And the reset button will reset to the default background, which is that TubeRip breaking YouTube dream thing there. I'm not going to change the background image because I've restarted this program about 200 times and I'm really starting to get annoyed by it now. If we go file login, the login system before was an absolute, not even coded, it just had an image that said coming soon. Now we have a login and a register system, so we click register and we're going to go test user. This password block here is going to be commented out so that nobody can see your password when you type it in, but for the time being it's open like that. You want to have an email because after you register, verification email is sent to your email address, and then once you verify your email, you're eligible for extra plugins. So I'm going to type in my email, and the age verification thing, I'm still playing around with it. I haven't decided whether or not to use it. If anything, I'd use it for any of the porn plugins. which aren't even created yet. So I mean, just I enter any. My date is 11/11/90, and I click register. Now it's gonna freeze for a second because it's busy trying to send the email to the email address that you provided to it right here. I'm just gonna go okay. An email has been sent there. So now, once you go File, Log in. You do not have to verify your email to log in, but if you want to get extra plugins, you will have to verify it. Now, try that again. I think it was test user, test pass. Whoops. I just did this too. Okay, it was test user, test password. Once you're logged in, it changes the login button to your username, at which point you have these two menus here. You have profile, where you can view your details and your download history, which, as before I said, my download history is currently not working. View my details is, however, and you can log out of the system. So if we go profile, view my details, and we're going to enter the password, test password, and click submit. Which it's going to come up with your username, your password, your email, your birthday, how many videos you've watched and downloaded, if you've verified your email or not, and what your subscription status is. Subscription status currently for everybody is free while it's in the beta stage. In the future, I'll be adding subscriptions. Free version will have small limitations, but will still work normally, and you'd have to pay for each add-on. And as you go up to the premium, I think that I haven't fully figured it out yet. Basically, if you get the highest package available, which is only like $5 a month, all the plugins are free. No, as long as you're still a customer, any plugin that's updated is free. Well, any plugin that's added is free. Any plugin that's updated is still yours. You get unlimited updates for that. And anything you've paid for will show up here in this list box. Anything you've paid for also includes anything. If you subscribe to the premium version, then all the plugins will show there. Now I've clicked the exit button there, and I click test user. If I click log out, it'll log me out of here, but we're not going to do that right now because we're going to test out the plugin system in a second. The same thing here, tools conversion. You can convert MP4 to MP3, Flash video to MP4, and Flash video to MP3 using FFmpeg built in with TubeRip. I figured that was an added feature because I've always found the need to convert a video file that I've downloaded and never really felt like uploading things. The help has pretty much the same thing. You have the about. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. You have the about section, which has not changed whatsoever. It's got the same links, same text, etc. Get source code opens up the GitHub repository, which is open in the beta stage, but when this program is actually released in the full stable format, the source code will be taken off, and it'll be a closed source project completely. Feedback and support is new. I added this in the very last version. Basically, just add your name, your email, and if it's feedback, add a rating of 1 to 10 and a message, or if it's support, then just come down here and type me a message telling me what the problem is, and I will fix it and release it in a small patch rather than in a major update. Now we're going to go over here to add extra features. This is the plugin system. At the moment, every feature in here is free, as it's still a work in progress. We haven't actually finished the plugins to add to the plugin system. Basically, all you're going to do is come over here, you're going to click on the plugin you want to download. It's going to tell you the description of the file. In this case, this is just a test plugin. It has nothing on it. It's just a single form that loads when you open it. You click download test plugin 1. You'll download the file, and you have to restart TubeRip to see the new add-on. I'm not going to do that for a second because I've still got a couple more things to show you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click YouTube here. I'm going to open up quite a few of these windows just so that I can give you an idea. Okay, now if you come up here to this window button, you can arrange the icons by these 4, cascading, tile them, or arrange the icons. You can close them all at once, or say for instance you come over here to YouTube and you maximize it. Now every single child form that's open is maximized, so to switch them, you either have to close up here in the smaller corner X, or click Window and go About, or whatever form it is you're trying to load, and it will load up in the corner. And then if you don't want to close them all by hand, say you have like 600 forms open, well, I don't know how your computer would handle that, but just click Close All, and it'll close all the open windows and bring you back to the main launching session. Now, before I close this, I'm going to change the background, that way everybody can get an idea. We're going to go Stretch, and then you have 4 types of images. You can have PNG, PNG, JPEG, JPG, or GIF. All my images are in JPG, or most of them anyway, so I'm just going to use one of them as a space filler. Let's look for something good. What is that? I remember that one. Let's see. Yeah, this will work. If it'll load. Ah, there we go. This is the old splash screen that I used to use. We use my current wallpaper. Now we're going to restart TubeRip. I almost said TeamViewer there. We're going to restart TubeRip, and of course it's going to show you the splash screen. That will never change. Well, I mean, that will never be a user option to change. That's going to be program only. Once it loads through the splash screen, give it a second to render the image, and it will put the image in here as you want it. As you can see, it's actually pretty much matching up with my wallpaper, because I have the same thing on there. I just maximized that. So also to show you the plugin system, this was here before, but that's because the last 4 or 5 tutorials I tried to make on this thing screwed up and I never deleted the plugin. So plugin example, that's just the test plugin. What's going to happen is when each plugin is downloaded, it's going to have a name that's going to correspond with the plugin. So for instance, if I downloaded a MetaCafe add-on, it'll show up plugins, and then MetaCafe will be the name of it. And then it'll load, you click it and it'll load the form to download whatever, from whatever service it is. This, obviously being a test form, only says form 1 and just loads it that way, but that's pretty much how the plugin system works. Each item is added below and so on and so forth until it's down so far you can't see it, which hopefully won't be, there'll be an update to fix that before we get that many plugins. If you feel like you don't like this background, you should just change it to, just click the reset button and then restart TubeRip, and it'll be back to the default one. If you like just exiting, then file exit here. The other thing is there is a tray icon here. This has 3 options: exit, about, and preferences. Also, if there is a system message, for example, if I'm shutting the user database down for an hour to do maintenance on it, it'll show up in the notification icon area telling you that X will be offline for X amount of hours. That's set default. If it can't reach the server or where the message is stored, then it just gives you the default welcome to TubeRip message. That about covers everything I've added to it so far. There will be a lot more updates. Example, I'm already working on a Vimeo plugin so that you can download Vimeo videos. A side note, the program name will be changing in the next few releases because I went to see if I could get the domain for TubeRip, and apparently somebody else already has the domain and it's for ripping porn videos. So it's really not available to me at the moment, so I'm going to look at changing the program name. The features will all stay the same, save for what's updated, but it's just going to be a different name. If you like the video, comment, rate, subscribe, do whatever. I don't care, this is YouTube. Yeah, have a good one.